Hi. I tried to do this a couple seconds ago and I never put my sound on. It's been, I have to tell you, it's been that kind of week. Um, but our collective I Ching reading for this weekend from my book, Oracle of Emergence, which is available on Amazon and is a little bit dirty. Not the book, just like literally dirty. What a week. Did you have a crazy week? Happy new moon. It's the new moon. And I like to plant seeds at the new moon. Actually, the seeds I planted at the February new moon have sprouted nicely. And this is kind of in connection with our reading for the weekend, this potent power coming up out of the yin field. We have penetration, hexagram 1 again, which we also had last weekend, which is totally in keeping with the ecology of the Northern Hemisphere right now, that potent concupiscence of spring, like things just pushing through the soil after that long replenishing winter, or at least it was certainly a long replenishing winter here in Maine. Hexagram 1 is illumination, animation, inspiration, penetrate the womb of the world and be subsumed by the holy throb. Penetration animates and arouses. The high pressure pole invites the low, the prerequisite for thunder. So as you see, this is a heaven over heaven. It's all yin, it's all yang lines. So this is like that pure, mature, masculine yang force when it's embodied. But hexagram 1 is, we embody it, but it's really describing that pole itself, that primal yang positive pole itself, that bright light. Penetration is the summoning hum you hear, that you hear with your skin the first day you wear a summer dress. You are free and fully lit, open to every breeze and beam. The light doesn't stop at your skin. It runs all the way through you. You take it all the way in. How could you not? You're in it, of it, a wavy little particle that just left the sun 8 minutes ago. It just got here. Where is here anyway? Should you have stopped at Venus? It was so cloudy. For all its power to block the penetrating light, all you have to do is hold up your hand. You have all that power in your hands. The stone penetrates the pond and ripples out. The stone, too, is in your hands. So we're always embedded and embodied in all these vast invisible forces. But we also have a lot of agency if we're truly in our bodies and we're truly in touch with what's actually going on in the present moment. If it gets too hot or too bright, you find shade. If it gets too cold, you put a coat on. You know, like our responsiveness is also shaping those forces. Wind will go around things and that'll shift the course of wind. Wind is also, we can make it with our hands. We can generate it. So there's a lot of power in this weekend's reading. We go from hexagram 1, that pure yang penetration, into hexagram 34, power. So this is like, there's so much energy here. And so the emphasis is on wielding it responsibly, not losing that moral compass, knowing what you're penetrating, and if that's where you belong, if that's yours to penetrate as you embody that yang force. And that comes through in the changing lines, that the changing lines connect the two hexagrams. So as we move between hexagram 1 and 34, penetration and power, these are sort of like the tethers that join them. And so line 5 says, resonance is all. You find who you belong with through ease, not effort. So there's a lot in here about, you don't need to force anything. All of this power is just there. So sometimes just embodying it in a more radiant, permeating way can be more useful than the application of force. You are yourself, and those who belong with you find you. You are a sight to behold. A felt sense of you is transmitted with ease. You've tamed the dragon. Accept the pearl. So that's beautiful. That's that beautiful fifth line, which is often um, the harvesting, the harvesting of the fruit of the hexagram. It's mature human manifestation. Now, the sixth line takes it up another notch. The sixth line is like, well, it's either going to over ripen into rot or wisdom. A lot of the six lines are about taking the energy of the hexagram and tipping it over into hubris, like overdoing it. Or if you really have the capacity to metabolize that amplification, then it can become real wisdom. So with penetration, which is already such a big energy, embodying it super amplified can be a real challenge. So this says, line 6, I love the bracing directness of the Wilhelm Bines translation here. Arrogant dragon will have cause to repent. Oof. Maybe you should preemptively atone and stop being an asshole. You have a lot of power, sure. Don't flaunt it. You don't have to. Flaunting distracts. It shuts people down. That doesn't serve. Empower those who are willing. Meet them where they're at. Arrogance is self-centered. Confidence decenters the self. You seem to be suffering under the illusion that you are the dragon rather than its temperate and skillful passenger. Hubris will get you every time, every time. So I want to say something about confidence decenters the self, because I think there's a really important nuance between selfishness and self-centeredness. Selfishness is great. Generous and responsible selfishness, where you absolutely know who you are and you trust your essence, you trust yourself to embody your essence generously and responsibly. It means you know the note that you sing in this magnificent choir and that you are specific but not separate. So you can live your life fully and sing in the key that your life is sung in from before you were born. And we all need that. If everybody was really doing that, we would live in a much healthier world, a much more balanced world, because we all have our note to sing. When we get that, when we clench our own pipe, knock it out of tune, that's when chaos starts to get created, and not the good, yummy yin chaos, but like just a synthetic human fracturing. So this moves into hexagram 34, which is power. And so the emphasis here too, this is thunder. The trigrams, the 3 lines on top and the 3 lines on bottom, are thunder over heaven. So the trigrams are the elements that come together to create the energetic snapshot that is the hexagram. Each hexagram is sort of an energetic snapshot of this moment. Power. Universal patterns are revealed in your actions. Your moral compass is essential now. Maybe wear it around your neck so you don't lose it. Move from the power of love rather than the love of power. You know who you are. There's nothing to prove, nothing to force, nothing to force. When you trust your power, there's nothing to force and lots to be responsible for. And plenty of room for generosity. Power is peaceful. Power transmutes and transmits. Power is broad-based, stable, and soft like a jade mountain. Real power requires no performance. Sure, you could swing your dick now, but why squander that energy when you can accomplish the same thing by standing perfectly still? There are lots more beneficial actions available to you and yours. Having the nervous system capacity to hold power without leaking all over the place and making a mess is the challenge of this hexagram. And coupled with hexagram 1, that really is the challenge for this weekend. Having the nervous system capacity to hold power without leaking all over the place, which goes nicely with the mature masculine penetration part. You have the capacity to sear and the restraint not to. Your life force is running like a spring river. You're swole and throbbing. As Audre Lorde says in Uses of the Erotic, the function of the erotic is to encourage excellence and to give us the strength to pursue it. How do you define excellence? How do you use your strength? No one is asking you to be less selfish. just less self-centered. When you're generously and responsibly selfish, there's so much self-compassion in it, so much love, because there's nothing to force. You simply are yourself. What's to pretend? Why would you need to pull on another person or manipulate anything or take what's not freely given? You don't have to, because you know that what belongs with you comes to you because you're completely in alignment. You're totally attuned to the ecosystem that you're emerging from. The hexagram that comes after 34, power, is ease. Because when we have the capacity to really embody power, things move with ease. In 35, we really metabolize that lesson that there is absolutely no force required. Whew. That's a really potent reading. I'll be curious to hear how it played out for you. Let me know in the comments. Oracle of Emergence at Amazon. An evolutionary I Ching.